I'm filming a new video, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to film it in 2 parts. Where'd my voice go? I'm going to film it in 2 parts. So it is going to be a get to know me video. Ooh. So this is in celebration of reaching 100 subscribers on this channel, which is my only channel, but still this channel. And we're gonna jump into it, and hopefully it comes out okay the first take or so. But for now, part 1 and a part 2, because I have all these questions that I wrote down, and I don't know how many we're gonna be able to get into without me babbling for a long time. So that's how it's gonna be. It's just something fun, different, and upbeat. Again, 100 subscribers, woo! So I'll probably even talk a little bit about my channel and like what it is and how it's transformed over time and all that jazz. So let's jump in, okay? So hi, yeah, I don't have a cutaway, it's just me talking still. But hi, I'm Raquel. I don't usually tend to say my name and stuff in it, but I am Raquel. That is my name, R-A-Q-U-E-L, Lyons, L-Y-O-N-S. I am 27. My birthday month is September. I'm gonna be 28 this year, so that's pretty weird. And what else about me? Okay, so yeah, it's just a whole get to know me thing, so I'm gonna probably just go by each question. We'll try it like that, okay? So, state of residence, I'm from Massachusetts. I grew up in Massachusetts. I was born in Massachusetts. I grew up here and everything. And that's about all I'm gonna say for that, because I don't want to give out too much info for that. But I went through, like, you know, the usual, like, elementary school, middle school. Middle school's awful. It's always awful. High school, and then I went commuting when I went to university. So the college that I went to, I'm pretty open about it, that I've gone to college and like where I went and things like that. So I went to UMass Boston, and I graduated. I went in fall 2012, and then I graduated in fall 2018. So that also, when I went originally for school, I went majoring into no, I didn't. I went to school majoring in chemistry because I was originally going to do pre-med. I wanted to go to medical school. Yeah. So I actually, in high school, I took a chemistry class, and I wasn't very good at it. And then, like, halfway in the year, I got, like, really into it, and then I, like, was able to pick my grade up a bit more. And then I definitely liked, like, English classes, writing classes. I really enjoyed that. I actually took creative writing and a photography class my last year in high school. I really liked doing that. I was very artsy, although I did a lot of photography. I did a lot of creative writing. I was very, very creative when I was younger. I would have a lot of original character ideas and plots and stories and poetry and all of that. Let's see. I drew a little bit, like, when I first went into high school, but not that much. And I worked a little bit on fanfic stuff for House MD. And around that time, when I was 16, I think I made my DeviantArt account, my really old website, DeviantArt, that I'm still on, even though I don't post as much as I used to there. I kind of went onto different websites for that kind of content. So I've been on DeviantArt since like February 5th, I think it is, 2010, so it's gonna be 11 years, which is, whew, wow. I also, I did like a little bit of drawing here and there, but like not super noteworthy, I guess. And photography I've been doing, so actually I can go into that, right? So this is one of the questions, one of the answers for my questions. I've been doing photography since, like, I started getting into it when I didn't have a really good ability to, like, picture things in my head. So for writing, like, I could only write based on what I saw. So it was really hard if it was summer for me to write about autumn and describe it. So I was like, oh, hey, maybe I'll take pictures, and then I'll, like, that way I can look at a picture, and then I can write about it like that. So that's how I got into photography to begin with. I used, like, a little point-and-shoot camera for a few years. Like, I think I used my mom's for a while. I got like a purple one for a while. Then I got my Canon DSLR, which I still have and I still film on nowadays too. I still take pictures of it. I finally upgraded to like a SD card just for photography and SD card just for videos. So I've done that. I had my Canon, I think I've honestly had it since like 2011 or so. And it still works. It's a T2i Rebel. Yeah, T2i Rebel DSLR Canon. Yeah. Maybe one day I'll get another one. Maybe. For right now, it's not like on the, top tier list kind of thing. Probably should save money to get a new car. But, yeah. So, mine's kind of getting old and stuff. I can mention that later. So that's how I got into photography. I did some really good photos for a point and shoot for a while, and then I did my DSLR and I was really into it, and I like taking photos. I haven't taken photos yet this year, but I would like to soon. So I like doing photography where like I like doing hands, so I have good hands, so I do like hand modeling sort of photography, and like I like putting objects into different places. So I have a pocket watch that says the same time all the time because it's broken, and so I love doing like putting it. It's this time in this season, and I'm putting in another time, another photo shoot time, but same time on the clock, and then in a different setting, so like fall and like snow and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I have a pocket watch picture right here on my desk, and it looks so pretty. And yeah, I love like capturing time, and like the idea of photography, and like getting little figures and putting them in different places, and trying to see if people like, I feel like if I go to a new place, I think a lot of people take a picture of like the whole scene, and I like to focus more on like the little tiny things that are easy to miss and just kind of there. So I do love photography. I did a bunch of photography last year, like over the summer when I was filming some videos. That was really cool. I really liked that. I like trapped themes and hands, motions, like people. I did a lot of photography of my friends and stuff when I was in college. What else? I mean, I think that's enough for photography. So that was my whole spiel on photography. I can actually go. I have a video that I wanted to film just about. It was called the Origin Stories, just about my different art stuff. So that is something. But for now, we'll leave it there because that's a lot already. It's already been 8 minutes. So what else? Creative writing. So creative writing, I got into when I was a kid. My first dream job was an author, which is cool because eventually I'm gonna like do books and stuff and like hopefully get published and everything and figure that all out. But I'm glad that will be fulfilled at some point in my life. And so I was been writing since I was 9, and I did again a lot of creative original fanfic stuff. Well, not fanfic, but original work, poetry, short stories. I was working on a book for a while, for many years, but it never really gained enough traction. My dad actually printed out the whole like manuscript that I had. It was like 210 pages, something like that. So I haven't looked at it, and like I don't even know where I put it, to be honest, but I definitely still have it somewhere, so maybe I'll go back and try to like finish it or like restart it or do something with it. I don't know. That might be cool. Yeah, I did that I fell out of it, I think back in like 2009 or like 2008, and then I got back into it. Have really been writing like since then again. So yeah, I wrote articles for my newspaper at school, at university, about mental health and my recovery journey. I, wrote essays and stuff, and the nice thing I find of being able to come from a creative writing aspect is that having that like creative avenue allows me to be able to write like things like lab reports and stuff like that, like, or essays, like, I don't know, I can like utilize the creative stuff into the more work academic stuff, but I also find sometimes it's not always applicable that like if you can write academic stuff, you can't always write creative stuff. So that's just something that I noticed from a book that I read 2 years ago. I don't know, last year. I don't even remember. So creative writing, that, and then now I got into writing Loki-centered Avengers fanfiction. I got into the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, honestly, like in summer 2014, and it was because I saw like, I think it was like I started with like Loki and Thor videos, like fan videos, and then I found fan fiction. Like I read Drowned by Ordis, which is like my favorite all time, like amazing fan fiction. And I mean, even before that, like in 2008, 2009, like I was reading like house fanfic, and I remember there were a few stories that really like stuck with me, and I could never find them again, and I don't remember what they're called, and I don't know if they got removed or something, but there were definitely some great ones in there. I started writing one for myself, like a house one, but I never finished it, which is the story of my life. So, and then but MCU fanfiction, yes. 2014, I got into that. I got into by fan videos and then movie clips and then reading fanfiction, and then I went and I saw, I think it was Iron Man 2, because I was trying to find the Avengers, like that scene where Loki attacks New York, and I was like, where is it? What video? Well, like, what movie is it from? So I was like, I watched Iron Man 2, I watched like Iron Man 3 like 3 different times, because like I kept catching it at the like halfway in. And then I finally watched Avengers, and I was like, oh my gosh, I think it's this one. And I showed it with my mom, and we watched it. And I was like, for like the first like hour and a half, because I think it's like 2 hours long, but the first hour and a half, I'm like, oh shit, it's not this movie, is it? And I'm like, no, what movie is it? But then it was in it, so then I watched it, and I was like, I get it now. So that's how I got into the MCU, because I thought like Thor, I assumed that Thor was more of, I didn't think it was like a superhero movie. Like I always heard of it, and I know friends who watched it and stuff, but I was like, nah, it's like some sort of like Roman, like, you know, 1800s kind of thing like that. And I'm not into movies. I'm not into like old time kind of movies, like things set in like 1940s. Like that's not me. Like, so, and I don't even like books like that, or like westerns and stuff like that. It's just not something that I enjoy particularly. So I always thought the Thor was like that, but it's a superhero movie, and I liked Iron Man, and so my favorite characters are Iron Man and Loki, obviously, because I read a lot of Loki Center Avengers fanfiction, and I also do a lot of Frost Iron, so yeah. Alright, what else do I have? Fun fact, I guess it's a fun fact, and this is just a get to know me video anyway, but like, I am Hispanic. Look it, but I am. My race is white, but I'm Hispanic. My mom is originally from Peru, so that's a fun thing. Places I've traveled to, oh my goodness. So I went to Germany with my parents to visit my brother. I have a brother, by the way. It's always a fun fact. I have a brother. He's 4 years older than me, and he's living in Germany at the moment, and he does special effects in movies. So he does like composite work and everything like that. So he's done actually some of the most of the Marvel movies, which is cool. He's 4 years older than me. He lives in Germany. He's been around so many places. I personally am not someone who has like a lot of travel. Like a lot of people, I find a lot of people have like, oh, traveling is like living life to the fullest is traveling, and like I personally don't like. I'm good where I'm at. You know, like I don't need to go out to different places. Like I'm good right here. I think if anything, if I wanted to travel, I think I'd rather go to like around the U.S. first, and then maybe go outside other places. But I'm not like super culturally aware, which I kind of want to change, but I also kind of don't. I don't know. I'm just not a very aware of my surroundings kind of person. But I have been to Germany, I've been to Peru, I've been to Puerto Rico, I went to Canada once, but that was when I was pretty young. We went to like New Hampshire and stuff, and Florida, and like California, New Hampshire. I think we went to Vermont too. I would love to go to Connecticut. Connecticut, especially during the fall, like, that's badass. That's cool. I wouldn't mind going to like a different state, to, like in a log cabin kind of thing. Well, right now I can't, obviously with COVID, but that would be cool. I think that'd be really nice. Like go with a friend or something. I would actually love to do that. I would love to like travel, like get in a car and just travel somewhere. Like I don't do that because I'm very anxious about driving and everything like that. So I find that I'm getting, over time, my bubble is getting smaller and smaller. So I have to work on addressing that, but that's probably like a big reason why I don't like, you know, traveling isn't my high up there on my list of things to do. So yeah, let's see. Dreams. I can talk a little bit about my dreams, and then I'll probably finish off this part of the video. I might even do it like 3 or 4 parts, to be honest. because I want to be able to, I want it to be small enough that I can easily edit it and that you guys can like kind of digest it easier. I might go 23 minutes maybe. Let's see if I can get it like that. So I'm gonna jump into one of my dreams, because I talked about dreams before, especially on my channel. I've talked about that before, but I will review it again for you. So if you're new, especially too, I always like assume for some reason that like people have been like, I never assume people are new. I just assume that like you've seen my channel and you've seen like what I do in the past and like you're up to date, but it's probably not always the case. So hi, you're learning things about me now. Okay, I want to write a memoir. I want to write a memoir about my mental health journey, and I have a title figured out, and I have like a structure of it figured out. So I really want to do that. I also want to go into public speaking more. I already do a little bit of that, but I really want to expand it. I also want to give a TED Talk one day, hopefully when I'm in a even better place of recovery, and I've also got some of my recovery projects launched and into the world. And I want to write a fiction novel, a workbook, and probably like some like short stories and poetry kind of books, as well as probably other fiction books and stuff too. And then I also I want to go into peer support. So I want to become I don't know if I can do it now because I don't know trainings and stuff like that, but I want to become a certified peer specialist. That's my end goal kind of job. And then I was actually thinking of doing art therapy as a thing, but I probably won't do that for a while. I probably want to be out of school for a bit before I go into like art therapy. I just really want to go more into advocacy work, which I already do. I'll talk about that in the next part more at length because that's going to be a while. So, but yeah, advocacy is something that I'm really passionate about and I want to do more of. And technically I'm doing it at this moment, even just creating this video and creating what I do online. So yes, I want to go back to I forgot that I was talking about chemistry and then I never like went back to it. So yes, originally I was pre-med. I took an anatomy and physiology class in high school, like my last year. I then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go pre-med. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be a doctor. And I like watched like House MD and like Grey's Anatomy and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. So then the reason I chose UMass Boston for my higher education was, honestly, I liked that it was further away. So I was thinking, my idea at the time was that I won't be able to find people from high school at, UMass Boston because it's further away and all this kind of stuff. Sneak peek, that didn't happen. I still found some of them, so, but I wanted to go up there. I also thought it was super, photogenic. It was so pretty, especially back then. It was so pretty. And I also liked the sort of research abilities and stuff too, of like the research opportunities they had, and they had like a good science program. And I actually went into, because I was majoring in a science degree, we had like that FIG, and it was like it was a group of us, and we would go on as we took more science classes and stuff. So it was like a nice little community kind of thing. And I wound up restarting the photography club there. I did that for a few years. That was great. And then it wasn't until I took chemistry that I realized I hate chemistry. It was so bad. Oh my god, because around that time I was procrastinating a lot. So I legit, one semester, I just didn't do anything for my schoolwork. I was just on YouTube and I was just not doing my schoolwork. So I got a D- in my chemistry class, and I don't think it was the first part. I forget if it was the first or I think I got maybe a C the first part, and then I got a D- when I took chemistry 2, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'll just retake it and then it'll be better. So I retook it, but I got an F. I failed it, and then that was the F was on my grade, and at that time I was I could only get B's in science classes. I didn't do very well in them. It just wasn't my forte, and I don't think I had the structure and the drive enough to do better in them. I think if I did it now, I think it'd be a little bit different, because I think I'd be more yeah, let's practice and stuff. So at the time, I was starting to dabble into some psychology classes, and I was thinking maybe I'll major in psych instead and still be pre-med on the side. And so I took some psych classes and I did really, really well in them, and it was really like where I found my niche. Like I would get A's and stuff like that, and I was like, ooh. So then I was like, you know what, fuck the chemistry thing. So I changed my major to psych, but because I had already taken a bunch of bio classes, I could actually, for me, it was like I could do the Bachelor of Arts in Psych or the Bachelor of Science in Psych. And I didn't want to take a year of language because that would have added more time, which was from the BA. So I went to the BS instead. So then I had to take a couple other upper bio classes. I wanted to take microbiology really bad, but I wasn't able to do it because I didn't meet the chemistry requirement. But, so I wound up doing Bachelor of Science in Psychology. And yeah. I wonder if there's anything else I wanted to say about that. But that's kind of like where I went in terms of degree. I don't want to get into my mental health stuff because I think I'll just do that in the next part. So for now, that's kind of how things were. I'm gonna read out what some of my... Yeah, I mean, I think too, I'll just mention, I actually have a video that I filmed, like, back in maybe November, where I actually talked about things like my childhood and, like, my growing up and stuff, and I never really, like, talk about that in general. So I actually have some videos that I can, like, go to, in a sense, about that. But I will say, right now, as of getting to know me, I grew up very introverted, very quiet. I was definitely a quiet kid. Whenever teachers would have us pair up into groups, I was always like, crap, I guess I was the only one. And I wasn't like super smart in high school, so I was like kind of like, didn't know what I was doing half the time, so having to work like alone or in a group was like difficult for me. But yeah, I had friends. It's not that I didn't have friends, but I wasn't really close to a lot of them, you know. And I also started to withdraw a lot socially as the years went on in high school. And I found a lot more friends and community online. So, for now, that is the end of this part because I want to make sure I have time to edit it appropriately and so that it's not super long for you guys and it's not too intense. So, I'm going to film another part of this. Some of the questions you can look forward to in that. So I kind of talked in this video, I'll just recap. I talked about how I kind of was in high school, a little bit of my high school stuff. I talked about photography and creative writing. I also can mention too, I've talked about my fanfiction stuff before, but I do a lot of overcoming adversity types of themes and like hurt, comfort, and near-death experiences and like physical ailments and like mental ailments and like the physical impact and the mental and all that jazz. I have a mental health fanfic all on its own, and I have other videos where I've talked about it but that I haven't edited that I need to do that. But that's kind of like a gist of like the fanfiction stuff, and I have a whole box actually over there that I might actually go through really soon with all my other creative writing stuff, where like way back when I was far more creative than I am now. And I also talked about the photography and the college and all that stuff. And yeah. So, what do you have to look forward to? I'm just going to do that real quick. You have to look forward to in the next part. Madame, sir. In the next part, you can look forward to diagnoses. Advocacy impact. I might do that as... I'll mention advocacy. But it'll probably be a longer video that I'll do at some point. Really quick fire of treatment that I've been through. I've been watching, some of how I began my blog, YouTube, Twitter, fanfic, and AO3. Favorite shopping items. I covered a little bit of the time reading fanfic, so I probably won't do that there. TV shows, colors, favorite colors to TV shows, and more. So, alright, I'm gonna go. That was part 1. Are you excited for part 2? Because I kinda am. So, yeah, I'm just gonna go because I gotta do that, and then I gotta do a few other things. So, as always, thank you. I don't know why it is now when I go to say as always and I go to end my tagline, I remember, oh wait, I should say thank you for watching. happens like every time now. But thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I will get into why I'm doing this video in the next part. So stay tuned and have fun, because for you it'll be a few days, but for me it's within the next few seconds. But as always, stay safe, take care, be well, much love and light to you. Thank you, and I'll see you later. I'll see you.
We're in the same boat, heading for different shores, facing each other, grasping at different oars.